Hello, everyone. It's time for another edition of Financial Friday. So come on in, join us, come in the room, let us know where you're watching from. We'll get started in the next, it's 3:02, so we'll give it about a minute for you all to come on in. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. It's actually kind of gloomy where I'm at right now, so it's probably about to start waning. But I hope you've had a good, productive day, and we'll get started with our edition of Financial Friday. We have a great topic we're going to talk about today: life insurance. So just come on in, come in the room, and let us know where you're watching from. All righty. Okay, it is 3:03. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as you decide to come on in, let us know who you are. Once again, welcome to another edition of Financial Friday. I am your host, Crystal Salisbury. And for those of you who are new to Financial Friday is a weekly educational session on all things money. And today we're going to be talking about life insurance. And honestly, I hope you all have it. I hope you are considering doing it because you should. It is honestly, it shouldn't even be an option. It should be mandatory. It should be necessary because guess what? We're not going to get out of this life alive. We're all going to, pass on to the other side one day. So it's important that we protect ourselves. It's important that we have the necessary life insurance. And my special guest today is Yolanda Knight. She is a district leader with Primerica. And I'm very excited to have this conversation with you. So how are you?
I'm doing well, Crystal. How are you? I want to take the time to just let you know that I love all things financial. You are doing an awesome job, honey, and I'm always watching on Fridays.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I pray that what is being shared every Friday, people are listening and they're taking into consideration some of the things that we are sharing. I see that we have two people watching, so let us know who you are. So before we get started into the meat of the conversation, could you please tell us your background and how you got started in the life insurance industry?
Okay. Well, I'm Yolanda Knight. I am from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm a graduate of Fairfield High School. I went to Jacksonville State University, two-time graduate from Jacksonville. I received both my bachelor's and my master's from Jacksonville. I'm also an Army veteran. I commissioned from Jacksonville ROTC program. Um, I have served overseas. Right now, currently, I am with the Alabama Department of Corrections right now. And last but not least, Crystal, I am a business owner. So
Absolutely.
that's just a little bit about me.
Okay, awesome. So how did you get started in the life insurance industry? What made you be drawn to that particular industry and wanting to help
Okay.
people?
I got drawn into the life insurance industry about 2 to 3 years ago. Honestly, I just had this soul searching thing about where I wanted to be in life financially. Something just came over me, and throughout those years, I began just studying how I could be financially free. And in doing that, I ended up joining getting on with financial services. So with life insurance, that is a product. It is just one product of the financial services that I offer. However, in my community, it is so important. It's so important to have life insurance. So I just went ahead and got my life insurance license. Again, that's just one product of the financial services that I do offer.
Wonderful. So, if you could educate my audience or just people in general, what exactly is the purpose of life insurance and why is it so important? A lot of times when we think of life insurance, we think of like burial insurance, to make sure we can bury our loved ones, our family members. But what is the actual purpose of life insurance and why is it so important to have?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Life insurance is a income replacement, and it's very important to have when we leave behind. Like you said, we cannot outlive this life, right?
Mhm.
So when we're leaving things behind, like our family, that home is off balance. So we need that income protection. for our loved ones, for our kids, for our family. And oftentimes we leave cars, mortgages, loans, other things that need to be taken care of. So it's very important to have income protection. It's extremely important. And it builds that legacy. A lot of us don't know that life insurance is one of the things that's not taxed. That's not taxed. That death benefit that we receive when that loved one passes on, that's not taxed. Of course, I don't know nothing else in life that's not taxed, right?
I know.
So we just have to educate ourselves on that, and understand that that can be a legacy for families, for our families.
Absolutely. And I know there's so much out there when it comes to life insurance. There's so many companies, there's so many
Yeah.
different types of life insurance. And one of the things that I'm a proponent of is term life insurance. And I know people have their own, ideas with other different types of life insurance. So could you please explain why term and life insurance is a better option over like whole life, universal life, or anything else that's out there?
Okay. First, I'm gonna tell you what each one is.
Okay.
Term life is exactly what it sounds like. It's for a term, for a specific period of time. It's level, okay? Term life insurance. And then you have whole life insurance. Whole life insurance has two things with it. You have you have your life insurance, and it also accumulates a cash account that when I say we, a lot of people in our community, we've heard of whole life, so that's what we get because of that savings account that's attached to it. Um, and then you have the universal, and with universal life, that's a life insurance, and that's also investing mixed together. Something that I don't recommend people do. A lot of times you have something that's attached to that called an ART, annual renewable term. It goes up every year. It goes up because with life insurance, the older you get, the more it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it goes up. But more investing goes into the life insurance, and little investing continues to go in the investing piece. And a lot of people don't understand that. So,
Mm-hmm.
so now that I've told you guys a little bit about the three, term life. I am a fan of term life and will always be a fan of term life because number one, it's cheaper. And
Mm-hmm.
number two, we all live for a term. We will all live for a term. Okay. It's leveled. You don't have to worry about it increasing. However, if you live past that term and you need to take another term out, you're insured at the time that you got the insurance. And a lot of people don't understand that either. That's why I'm a fan of term insurance. I also want to explain to people whole life because I know a lot of people in our community have whole life. With whole life, having that savings account, that cash account that's attached to that life insurance, um, a lot of times it won't accumulate any money in it until at least 3 to 5 years. So you're paying on that insurance at least 3 to 5 years before that cash account accumulates any money. And then once in there, you have two options. Say for instance, the person insured passes, then you get that death benefit. That cash that's there, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You only have two options. And say for instance that person is living and we need to borrow some money off of that for a car. Maybe they're going to college, anything of that nature. Um, Once you borrow that money, that death benefit is no longer the same. It depreciates. And when you borrow your money, you have to then pay it back with interest. Who wants to borrow their money and pay it back with interest? It's your money. You put it
Not
into
I.
so I am definitely not a fan of whole life. I am a fan of term life insurance.
Absolutely. And it's funny because, when I when I became an adult, that was the mistake that I made. I invested into I bought whole life insurance. And then once I became educated, listening to Dave Ramsey, reading different books,
Mhm.
and I knew that, and then I learned that term was a better option. I quickly changed. And I think a lot of it is just a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding. And it's why it's important that we have these conversations so people can understand that term insurance is a better option. It's more
It,
affordable.
it
It's for
is.
a term, like you said, and you know that you're going to get what you put in at the end of the day. So I hope the audience is paying attention to that. And if you do have a whole life policy, you may want to go ahead and change that to term. That's just my opinion. You can do what you want to do, but that's just
So
my advice.
I had 3 whole life policies.
Oh wow.
I had 3 again. So as we mature and we learn, it's just important to educate others. You don't just get it because somebody else got it and because they got it and
Exactly.
because mom got it and dad got it. No, we have to understand these things.
Absolutely. And this is actually another question, a follow-up question to that is how
Mhm.
much of term insurance I guess it varies depending on the person, but what is your recommendation as far as term insurance, how much a person should get? I know it depends on of course, if you have kids and your family situation, but I know Dave Ramsey has said something about 10 times your annual income. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, 8 to 10 times your income. However, it depends. It's based on that individual's needs and what they can do and what they have going on at that second. If you can get insurance, get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do not have it.
True.
Um, but I would recommend to someone who can't have 8 to 10 to start with 3 to 5. One
Okay.
thing about term insurance, I can always call and say, you know, hey, my money's looking kind of funny. Can we take my death benefit down to $50,000?
Yeah.
And when things get back going, you can always increase. I just want people to know that this isn't something that you're just stuck in. There's nothing wrong with talking and communicating. This is
Mm-hmm.
an investment in your life for your kids, for your family. It's important to talk and have these conversations about what you can handle and what you can't handle, because when you do, you'll be surprised to know that it's okay. Something can be done about it.
Absolutely. And I'm just looking at the comment section right now. Kay Jones said this is good information. Coco Banks says great information, Queens. Spencer Williams says hello, Queens. Thank y'all for the love. Keep the comments coming. And of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in, and we'll address them at the end. And my next question is we probably have already addressed this, but I just want to go ahead and ask it. What are some things that a person should be aware of when purchasing life insurance?
When purchasing life insurance, some things that we should be aware of is the type. Number one, the type that we're
Mhm.
purchasing. Um, do your research on that. Know the type. Number two, Crystal, we just hit on understanding how much you need.
Mhm.
Understanding how much you need. A lot of times, oh, let's get $100,000. Well, if you're making $50,000 a year, I'm saying after I'm gone, I want my family to live the same. Because if I'm making
Mhm.
50 and I get 100, I want them to live the same for 2 years.
I know, right?
That's
Mm.
what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So, guys, that's why we say it's important to know what it is that you're looking for and what it is that you need. Get personal with that agent. Get personal with that person. It's important to know how much you need, what it is you're looking at, you know, what company it is that you're going with, and what type it is. It's so important to do that. Get personal with your agent.
Okay. So you heard it, audience members, understanding the type of insurance, understanding your needs, and just really doing your research. That is my prayer. That's my hope that who all is watching today and who will catch the replays, that you at the end of the day, do your research. Don't just take someone's, advice that you heard off the street or you saw something online. Really educate yourself and vet the information. Of course, the information that we're providing, this is vetted information. She knows what she's talking about. So it's not something we're just making up as we go. So just make sure you are tapping into people that actually have a sound knowledge of the industry, have sound knowledge of what life insurance is, and not just someone that just heard something from their friend, so to speak. It is, I think that's a lot of times we make the wrong decisions because we heard someone else say it and we didn't vet it.
Yeah, that's true. And what's going on right now, to just caveat off of what you said, a lot of people are now saying, "Oh, I got it at my job. I'm okay. I'm fine. I have it at my job." Well, when things happen, like, you get sick, and we're getting older, some of us are developing conditions because of the way we eat, because of the way we are, and it has you out, or God forbid, cancer, and it has you out, and you can't go back to that job. You don't have insurance at that job, Chris. You don't. And if you do, and if you stay there at that job, they're not going to allow you to have at least, what, 2 to 3 times of what you make a year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gone from that job, now you have to prove insurability with the
True.
next company. And remember, we already have some conditions. We left the job because of a condition.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things matter. All those things matter.
Absolutely. And that's a good caveat, because I want to speak on this. I've been seeing a lot of things online about, people not being able to be insured due to being diagnosed with COVID-19. So can you speak on that topic of how does it make it harder for people to get insurance because of, having that disease, or just any disease in general?
Say that one more time for me.
Oh, no problem. So I've been seeing things online, which of course I haven't vetted it myself. I just, you see one-liners, and how people are with the inability to have insurance based on a certain type of disease, whether it be cancer or COVID-19. Have you seen that a lot in the industry, that it's harder for people to get insured?
I have. Also, what I've seen with a lot of companies with the pandemic going on, them not paying out.
Yeah.
Because of that. And it's regardless of if you really had, or if the hospital say you had it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I do.
So, a lot of times, and with it being on the death certificate not paying out, we have to do our homework all the way to our loved ones in the casket. We have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's to educate ourselves on what's going on, because what they say in the hospital may very well affect my policy, or my mom's policy, or my dad's policy.
True.
We just have to understand that, and not take those things for granted. When it's time to pull out that policy and read it, oftentimes in our community, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late. Take it out and read it the same way you'll press that Pandora icon, or that Facebook icon on that phone.
You right about that, Chris?
You get to know that policy like the back of your hand. It's important to do so. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I have seen issues with coronavirus being a problem. A lot of times people are asking now and then, still with paramedic exams, I'm hearing little things. But fortunately, I work for an awesome company who just allows mechanisms around that, which is a good thing. But everybody don't, is what I'm saying. Everybody don't. So we have to educate ourselves, do our research, and understand that when it comes to knowing that insurance policy on yourself, mom, dad, or whomever, we just have to know it like the back of our hand. And don't be afraid to call and ask. If something doesn't stand, something stands out and you don't really know what it means, call and ask.
Absolutely. And also, it's important, people tend to put things off. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day, and it never gets done. And at the end of the day, I may be healthy, and I may, be taking care of myself, but death doesn't discriminate. at the
That's
end of the
right.
day. You know,
That's
I
right.
could be here today, gone tomorrow. And I think it's now I don't think I know it is very important that, we all pay attention to our life insurance policies and read the information, read the fine print, truly understand the ins and outs of it. So, you know, whatever we say today, I hope people will take into consideration. At the end of the day, we have to know the ins and outs of our policies and we have to do our research.
Hmm.
My next question is what is this is a two-part question. What
Okay.
is one piece of advice you would give someone who currently has life insurance, and a piece of advice to someone who is in the process of purchasing life insurance?
Okay. Currently having life insurance, I would say know what it is that you have. Um, know your policy. Know that you got the best bang for your buck. Life insurance, these contracts are individualized. Crystal, what you may have may not necessarily work for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
There are different riders that one may need. A lot of things go into building a contract for a specific need, for a specific family. A lot of things go into that. So you just can't say, girl, I got life insurance. Girl, I got the same one. No.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that get personal with your policy. Get personal with that agent. A person that doesn't have life insurance, don't wait another minute.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait another minute.
Absolutely. And on that note, for those who don't have life insurance, how can they contact you?
But my number is 205-451-5845. My name here is Yolanda Knight. You can find me on Facebook. You can message me. I'm available. I'm available for your
Absolutely.
questions or your needs. Just if you have any financial questions, that's the foundation. That is the financial foundation. If I mean, don't go and get stock in nothing. You hear me? If you don't have life insurance, you haven't even insured yourself. You haven't invested in yourself. How dare you invest in something else?
Absolutely. You heard them. Don't invest in those stocks if you don't have any life insurance, people. And that is some real information. That is some real advice. Invest in yourself. You are not going to be here forever at the end of the day. And like she said, she dropped her information. So if you need life insurance or if you want to change your life insurance from whole life to term, please reach out to Yolanda. She will be more than happy to help you. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. We're here to educate. So you can't say that you don't know because we're dropping the knowledge right here for you, and people are here to help you to get you
Yeah.
on the right track. Does anybody have anybody in the comment section have any questions before we go? Anybody have anything? I want to thank you so much, Yolanda. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for dropping this
Absolutely.
knowledge. It's crucial. Like, I see so many people that are suffering because they don't have the proper things in place when it comes to their life insurance or they don't have it at all. And
Yeah.
it's just heartbreaking. And it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way. And guys, it's cheap. Call me for a quote. Again, my number is 205-451-5845. You may not even be in the think that you want to switch or think what you have is good. I mean, let's just sit down and look over. That doesn't cost you a dime. Just
Mm-hmm.
knowing. Sit down and get you a quote, understand what it is. Let somebody know what you can afford a month. You know what I mean? And if it's nothing and if you can't afford anything a month for life insurance, let something go.
Exactly.
Let something go. And I just want to put out with everything that's going on in the world right now, you know, um, protesting, COVID-19, things that are gonna flare up, here before the fire is put out. It's just important to have those things in place. It's extremely important to have those things in place. on top of everyday accidents, healthcare problems. It's just a big flare up right now in the country. So it's important to have those things in place.
Absolutely. And she's right. I'm like, life insurance is very affordable. I remember my first policy was like $10 a month. I'm like, I'm like, that's cheap. I'm sorry. If you can't afford $10 a month, you need to get rid of that Chick-fil-A or that Starbucks habit. It is
That's
what it is.
right.
I'm
That's
like, you
right.
can find $10.
Yes,
That's at
you
a low
can
level
find
policy.
$10.
At least you
That's
have enough
true.
to bury yourself, but you of course you always want more, but yeah, just we have to shift our thinking, we have to shift our priorities. At the end of the day, this needs to be a priority. Well, it looks like no one has any questions, so I guess we're going to go ahead and end the stream right now. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope this information was extremely helpful. I know it was helpful for me because, even though I know about life insurance, I still learn even more when I have these conversations. So it's
Hmm.
beneficial to me as well. And of course, I hope it was beneficial to you all. And if nothing else is said, I don't see anything else. We're going to go ahead and end it. And I hope y'all have a good day. And I will see you on next Friday for another edition of Financial Friday. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.